All right, so we're Tuesday, the 29th of July, 2025, 6:25 a.m. Just missed the subway. There's no one here. There's no bums. There's no meth addicts. They're all outside. When I left, going straight down, I wasn't going to film because I hope to do a live when I get to work at the community center. But the cops were at the next corner, and then once I'm crossing the street to go to the next block to come here to the subway, there was a whole gang of people. So that's where they congregated. I'm a little depressed, but I wasn't that bad waking up. All right, 6:13, 6:15, 6:13, I think. On Thursday, July 31st, I had to run back to get some cash to buy a new bus pass because I'm teaching again tomorrow. This is my one day off. I got to bed around 9 something, and I set the alarm for 4. I was doing a little YouTube in bed. So I got 6 hours sleep. Of course, it's not enough after teaching, but my goal is to just not miss out on the day, you know? I didn't take the pre-workout. I actually switched back to caffeine pills because I'm running out of the pre-workout. I have another container or so, but I don't want to. Oh, it's cool outside. Nice. Good weather. I don't want to waste it, you know, but it doesn't seem to be working that well. 2 pills. Well, I took one, waited about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and took a second one. I guess I was really overdoing it on the other pre-workout. But anyways, I have my bag, the red one, with my bomber jacket on it. I'm not thinking that clearly. It's like it's forced. But still. So I was like, am I going to work out at the original gym because the subways are going at this time? I could, but I don't think it would be any more benefit because I go to the one further away because there might be some guys that are inspiring and stuff, and then I don't really feel like doing that game. So I might as well go to the one here and just stay there for a few hours and just keep focusing on my own. Then after that, go 2 metro stops or 3 metro stops. Actually, 3 metro stops. Go to the mall there because they have a new seamstress, which looks pretty old school in a high-tech mall. So that's refreshing. See if she can repair sew up the bomber jacket. Just get that ball rolling, you know? Hopefully I'll remember to get my bus pass. I got my bills. They raised the price, of course, an extra $4, but I have the $4 in coins. Then get out that subway stop where I go to the seamstress. Go up the block up the hill a little bit, a block or so, where I taught for another company. They have a nursing school in the newfangled building where I did a management diploma, management specializing in marketing diploma, but I had taught the nurses basic life support because I was debating which school to go to ask. What am I talking about, you're asking? Anyways, see if I can go in person, see if I can get a guidance counselor, see what the options are. I know nothing, but it's English. Because I must have mentioned it in one of my lives or clips. You know, when the sign hits you, go for it, you know? When I taught last week, there was a girl who was really focused on English. I did not know on the English side of this town that there's a thing called a bridging course, you know, which basically, if I go into nursing, I don't want to become a nurse, but I want to teach the courses. I have to go through the program, I guess, but then there's a bridging course, and then I could become a nurse teacher. So I want to see what that options are. The first girl at the residence where I was teaching last week, she's working as a caregiver, burning herself out. She came an hour and a half late for the second day of the class, but she's working as a caregiver for that residence where I was teaching. She's going to nursing school at the same time. If I could do this part-time, that's even better. I'm not in a rush to do it, just as long as I'm going at my own pace for something, you know, that I see that there's a future or something, or that I keep educating myself, and then I could always implement that in the classes I teach. But she's going to nursing school. Then she like stayed her whole trajectory. It wasn't clear. I had to keep her repeating because I was like, what are you talking about? Then she's going for nurse practitioner, which I did not know. It's like 10 years, but she's got a shortcut with the bridging course. It's 8 years. And then with another bridging course or something, she'll become a doctor, a practitioner. And I'm like, I kept having her repeat, like, what, an MD? How are you a nurse practitioner than MD? It's a loophole, but it exists on the English side of this town. And I was like, okay. Then after that, I felt like, fuck, I don't know a lot of things, you know? But I don't want to become a doctor, you know? And so the next day I was teaching another class, and this guy, I teach my classes in French, right? I've been doing that for a while. And he comes up to me, and he starts, and English is better for him, because he had problems with the French test. I'm like, and I didn't know. It's like he was speaking French properly. Yeah, a little accent, but it didn't seem like an English accent, you know? So then he was talking to me, and then he says to me, are you a nurse teacher too? I'm like, huh? No, I just teach these classes, you know? Why would you say that? And, well, you know, basically he's at that point where he's like trying to figure out what he's doing. He was in nursing, then he went to construction, because at the time when no one took their vaccines, during the COVID, it was a problem, so he had to quit. He got discouraged, went to construction. Now he's trying to go for the GRC, which is like the police, but Canada-wide. What do you call that? Is it RCMP? I don't know. So he goes to me, he says, well, because you're a good teacher. And I see you doing that. I'm like, okay, thank you. And mind you, I've been thinking about this. I'm like, I have so many roadblocks to go into further education to be able to teach that, so I'm limited. And then he's like, you know, there's a lot of people, I know people who are just go through nursing school. You have to go through the nursing school, but you don't necessarily have to work as a nurse. You might have to take 1 year of like a teaching certificate to be able to teach. I'm like, what? And then there's a bridging course, which you probably have to pay out of pocket. I'm like, what? And it's like, yeah, there's loopholes. It's only on the English side. Because here we're bilingual, right? But French is first. But mind blown, you know? So 2 days in a row, I'm hearing about bridging courses, English side. And then I start, yeah, I did shoot a video where I was like, a clip where I was like crying, you know? It's like, so I had to sit on it because I don't want to do anything impulsive, but I need to talk to someone because it could not work out at all. But I have to give it give it a little heave-ho, a little try, you know? So I don't know where to call, so I'm gonna go. I know it's on the 6th floor or 5th floor, 5th and 6th at that building. I could start there. I might even have the contact person, but I don't think I scanned a copy, so. Oh, I might have an email, but better just go there, see if there's anyone in the office, and see where I can go from there. I prefer in person, I really do. Yeah. All right, I'm almost at the gym. I'm still all over the place. Head is, ugh. So we'll see what I'm gonna do. Build the workout from there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, of course I gotta end on a negative. How the, you know, yeah, how depressing is that? I tried a live yesterday from the place I was teaching, and I was there for like, on it for like 25 minutes. It was really boring. No one was there, and didn't have much to talk about. Anyways, and then I closed the live. 10 people total had watched it. I'm like, that was the closest thing to dead. Whatever, it fluctuates. Obviously, it's the scheduling time. People are not always checking. Anyways, let's go. Okay, this is a weird day. Just went to the gym. There were people waiting. I tried to use my fob, and it doesn't work. And there were a few people who said, "Oh, it doesn't work." So I'm like, I turned around. I'm like, okay, I'm going to the other one. Bet Subway's right there. I'm not gonna wait for someone to come out and open the door, which could be the second option, but nah. I won't say it was like a sign, but I'm like, you know what, just turn around. Maybe I'll come back if the Subway's off, but whatever. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention, yesterday was a trying day. Well, teaching. You know, sometimes you teach a good class, sometimes you teach a bad class. Sometimes it's a fun class, but you know, people are not the brightest. Just fine. A little frustrating for me. Sometimes it's a reflection of how I'm teaching it, because if I'm going way fast, people are just like completely lost. But with this type of class, it's like, with this clientele, there's some people who, you know, they're not in advanced education, which is fine. Some have taken the course, but they're just reciting information and they haven't integrated. So when I ask a lot of questions to see what they know, they don't have that thinking skills because they got to go back to what they memorized or what they repeated. So it's like, they're not learning, they just memorize stuff. You know what I mean? And it shows. And they can't use logical reasoning and just figure a situation out. Wouldn't want them to save me, you know? But there was one or two people who kind of got it. I'm like, yes. So to not, you know, burn myself out and just keep saying things, I want to see what they know. So I would ask them a question, and then we would take like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, waiting for someone to get an answer that's close. And then people would say answers, and then you see them racking their brains, and they know nothing, you know? So like if no one knows anything, then I kind of feed some more information, say, could it possibly be this? Can it possibly be that? You know, to get them in the right train of thinking. So that's I find that's a good method to get them practicing, to get them learning, not to just listen to me. Because there was an older lady there. What a crockhead. So when I talk, and then she's talking about other things, just trying to recite information, like to show that she knows stuff, and she took courses, and she's seen me, she's taken a class from me, but that doesn't mean she's a bright apple, you know? And it's like, why are you talking? What are you saying? You know, you obviously need your ego to be stroked, and it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. And I'm saying that to her, and all the other students are kind of laughing because we're all like, why you, it seems like everyone's thinking the same thing. Why are you talking? Why are you saying shit? Focus on the question. Don't just say everything that comes to your mind. And the person who I was working with, the girl I was working with, who's nice, she's the one who hired me. She was like, she has a lot of prejudices, I see, as we're very easy talking. So, you know, I can't get, it is what it is. It's a working relationship, but I didn't talk to her as much as I usually do because it's not of any benefit to me because I can't concentrate, you know? And it's just like people just like hearing their voices, give their opinions to people, and there's not as much of a connection. But it's better than other situations, you know? At least when I'm talking, I feel somewhat comfortable. But during the class and during the break, I avoid her. Which is what I wanted to say on the live yesterday but I thought maybe she would get on as I'm talking and she's in the other room. I wouldn't want her to hear me say stuff about her, you know? And I'm sure she's saying stuff about me because she does that about everyone. So that's normal. But anyways, yeah, so the woman I'm working with, she was like that older lady. Well, she didn't know her name. I knew her name because I only knew like two people's names. I didn't even make an effort to know everyone's name because it's not my class per se. It's different teaching there. It's like the woman I'm with, she's controlling a lot of things, and I feel that. So it's like, ugh, you know? And she comes in all the time and she says, isn't it nice to have a nice clean place? So she needs her ego stroked for that. I'm like, yes. But then on the other hand, it's like, it's a little too much, you know? But anyways, so she's like, this woman didn't pay. She's trying to get out of it. She's trying to sneak out of it. Hold on. All right, I'm at the other subway on my way to the other gym. And I forgot what I was going to say. And I didn't even bother to look at the other clip. But it's cool. It's humid a bit, but it's a cool breeze, so no complaints about that. I took a third caffeine pill, so it's 300 milligrams. I don't even have to go pee yet, so I don't know if it's taking effect, you know what I mean? Whatever. Just keep it moving. I have to really keep it moving. I was about to say something. I was on the toilet for a while this morning too. Anyways. See, I have the sniffles. So obviously my immune system's a little low. But just keep it. I might start with arms. I won't do anything difficult, like fatigue inducing, you know, but I know I have to do my legs a little bit because when I have to go upstairs and the knee hurts a little bit, I know it's okay. I'm accepting the fact that I have to work on that leg and that knee often, just to make sure the muscles are firing to avoid that knee problem, right? And to keep the area lubricated. A lot of things I have to accept. Oh, how did you do that? You climbed on that wall and you went, wow, that was cool. Anyways, but this forces me to get my steps in too. So the goal is to be able to keep the steps during the winter. You know, walking from the community center to the another bus stop. Might have to, like on the weekends, if I wait at the subway station for another bus so I don't have to wait outside at the community center, like if I waited for a later bus, but then that's gonna fuck my shit up in the sense that I won't get any steps in, you know what I mean? So now I'm like thinking, well, my mind's getting some ideas, so that means maybe the caffeine's working. When I start having ideas, it's a good sign, even though I'm like foggy headed anyways. But if, let's say on the weekend, the community center opens at 7:30 and not 7, but I still keep the same time, but I can't get to the community center at 7 and wait outside for a half hour. It's cold, you know, but I could go to the other subway stop and it's a 16-minute walk. So that means, well, that could be an option, to walk from the further metro station and not take the bus at all. Then I'll get a shitload of steps in. Then of course I'll be tired the next day. But that's an option. And then if I ever get really good, then go from the same metro station where I wait for the bus, but it's on Google, it's like a 45-minute walk. I'd have to leave my place a lot earlier too, but I don't know. I gotta look into that, because the goal is to keep the walking, keep the steps in, keep the activity up. Yeah.